Hi guys, this will be my first video for a couple of weeks, so I hope you kind of understand what I'm going to try and do, because I don't sometimes. Anyway, what I'm listening to at the moment is this New Jerusalem by Tim Blake, Blake's New Jerusalem, kind of space rock, very good if you like, you know, he was in Gong and kind of Hawkwind, that kind of thing. Also another album I've been listening to a lot recently is this one, It's a Beautiful Day, which had kind of been on my radar, but after seeing Jeff going on about it, I thought I'd better definitely try and track one down, so I did. It's a really good album, and this, I noticed this first track on side 2, Bombay Calling, actually Deep Purple kind of pinched the melody for Child in Time. It's kind of strange because I wasn't expecting it. It's like a folk rock version of Child in Time, which was kind of odd, but very good. Another thing, obviously everybody's been showing this, so I thought I might as well too, which is New Fleet Foxes. I'm not bothered going into detail about that because you'll know it's good. So anyway, what I figured I would try and do today is a kind of chain of albums that kind of link together without necessarily all being by the same artist. I don't want to just randomly go through and pick things and say this is good and that's good, so I thought I'd try something a little different. So first off we have this album here, which is Wise by Joanna Newsom, which is really good. It's only 5 tracks, but it's a fantastic album, especially Cosmere, the last track on it's just amazing. Really good. But what I'm going to do is the person that did all the orchestration for this is Van Dyke Parks, who also did this album, which is Song Cycle, which again is another really good. It's almost like travelling through America, kind of in time, go all kind of vaudeville and, you know, lots of really good stuff on that. It kind of reminds me of like the KLF's Chill Out album. If you imagine the KLF's Chill Out album at the turn of in like the kind of start of the 1900s, 1920, that kind of time. It's very bizarre, but very good. And Van Dyke Parks also did the orchestration for this, which is Brian Wilson's Smile. Oh, there we go. Words by Van Dyke Parks. So again, this is another fantastic album. And actually, when I got I can find it now. This on Record Store Day, I was quite surprised when I opened it to find this Smile coming soon. They're going to reissue the Beach Boys Smile album, which well, not reissue it, but issue it, I suppose, which I'm really looking forward to. And of course, Brian Wilson would then link us to his brother, Dennis Wilson. This is another fantastic album. Really cool sleeve. Pacific Ocean Blue. And this is where my brain starts to go wrong, and I can't remember. He was also working on another album which he never got finished, and if I remember rightly, the drummer out of the Foo Fighters finished the vocals for it when that was reissued on CD, but I never got the CD reissue, which links us to the Foo Fighters. This is one of these albums that was released on Record Store Day, which I don't really know why I bought it. It was that kind of Record Store Day fever, and I thought, ooh, I better take one just in case, but it's a bit stinky. But it's quite interesting. There's a lot of cover versions on it. One of which I did think about going down the Pink Floyd route, because there's Have a Cigar on here, but I thought I'd go for Band on the Run instead, which obviously leads us to this album. Band on the Run by Paul McCartney and Wings. Again, doesn't really need any introduction or explanation. Just a very good album. And of course, Paul McCartney was in there, and he did a song with Stevie Wonder, which takes us to this, Inner Visions, which is an amazing album. Last year I was lucky enough to see Stevie Wonder when he played in Hyde Park, and it was just phenomenal. 2 hours of non-stop hits. And I don't know, let's see here on the bottom here. Yep, programming of ARP and Moog synthesizers and engineering of electronic music by Robert Margouleff and Malcolm Cecil, who were Tonto's Expanding Headband. And this album was Zero Time, which is another really good album. Just kind of spacey electronic music. But as well as the Stevie Wonder album, another one that they worked on, which I know I've shown before, but is just a cracker, is this, which is Shankar Family and Friends. It's obviously Ravi Shankar and George Harrison, I think Klaus Voormann and various other people are on there as well. But it's just a brilliant album, really good. Which then leads us on to, obviously, George Harrison and All Things Must Pass. And this, I think, is probably, I would almost say it's better than any of the actual Beatles albums. Certainly the best solo album by any of the Beatles. And probably up there. I don't know, it's maybe not as good as some of the Beatles albums, but it's certainly the best solo work by any of the Beatles. It's just some of the songs that are on this are just amazing, really good. Run of the Mill, you know, it's just great. My Sweet Lord, I'd Have You Any Time, just fantastic stuff. And obviously another thing that George Harrison was behind was this, which is the Concert for Bangladesh, that had a whole load of big name artists at it. It was the kind of first, you know, online, they seem to spew out these charity festivals and concerts the whole time now, but that was kind of probably the first proper one. And finally, another person that was played at the concert in Bangladesh was obviously Bob Dylan. And this was the first Dylan album that I ever had or heard. And again, it's another pretty much faultless album. There's not really a bad song on it. Really good. So that's where I thought I'd leave it with Bob Dylan. So if anyone wants to start at Bob Dylan and link him through any number of albums to anywhere else, that's what I think I'd like to happen. See where we can take this. Obviously I could have gone down a completely different route and ended on somebody really obscure, but then that would have probably made it nigh on impossible for anybody else to continue. So if somebody wants to start here at Bob Dylan, do another 10, 15 albums and link him through to various people. Obviously I could have put in some Beatles albums in there, but try and avoid the obvious is what I'm going to go for. So yeah, so that's going to be my first video for today. I'll probably do another one. There was a comment on Cool Ranch Dressings about an album sounding very British, so I think I might do some albums that sound quite American. Anyway, that's going to be the end of this video, so I'll talk to you all later.